First off, I want to.
Oh, this question is not too
No,
deep.
it's not too bulky. If it was too bulky, I would push it to my senior. I want to first of all welcome my senior colleague from Abuja. Interestingly, I was there last week,
Okay.
and I would say I saw.
So you are the most recent.
Yes, if you can say that again. But before I touch on the relationship between the security threats vis-a-vis real estate development and all that, I want to lend my heart to all those who are mourning over the flood that has ravaged their country. Sat yesterday, when you said that the flood is receding, yes, it is, or it could be, but the effect is still there. People's homes are still 100% submerged in water, and people's losses are even accruing, and people are still as displaced as they were till date, and so on and so forth. The inconvenience and the socioeconomic losses may not be quickly quantified until maybe much later. And like we once said here, we should open our eyes to scarcity of food maybe by the first quarter of next year because of the aftermath or effect of this flooding. All the areas in Delta, for instance, where we grow rice and other crops that are quarterly have all been submerged in water, and it will take a couple of weeks or even months for the water to completely dry off before they can start afresh. So they are hurting, and on their behalf, I feel their pains and I hurt with them. I commiserate, with those who have lost their loved ones in death, and I empathize with those who have been displaced. And I want to lend my voice to all the stakeholders, so please ensure that as much as they can, they should help out those who have been displaced to have certain respite and so on and so forth. Back to the business for the day. As estate surveyors and valuers, when we are looking at pre-investment studies, one thing we put into perspective is security. We look at the political terrain, the political tone, we look at the security and all that. Now we have a case study, which is Abuja. I came back last week, and the man that took me around town told me that as a pilot, they don't spend time other than 5-6, and gave me his own personal experience of what happened. He dropped off somebody a pole before Kuje prisons. No sooner had he dropped off this person than he started hearing shatterings of bullets and bombs, and he thought it was something else, somewhere else, not knowing that it was just the Kuje he was seeing that was being invaded. Of course, Kuje is a place, and people live around that place. And you could also imagine the fear and the disposition of those who live around there. Now, coming to the larger picture, which is US informing Nigeria that there is a potential attack on Abuja and of course its environs, and they said that places of worship, government agencies, government buildings, perhaps airports, etc., would likely be affected. Yesterday, I was listening to Arise Television, and a certain retired general was interviewed, and he connected with the present polity that the United States is over bloating this security thing. After all, we have issues here and there in all the parts of the world. So why is it that it is only now that the polity is stabilizing that they are giving us information that is ominous, and that they should be mindful of what information they pass, because every country, every state is a sovereign state, and by certain international laws, all sovereign states have equal rights, justice to take care of themselves on their terms. So you don't just come and pass an information and you are comfortable with the information. You didn't even give details of the information and you think you're acting out a big brother. That was his opinion. But another school of thought had it that these were the same people that saw tomorrow and spoke about the Kuje prison break. And it happened. And the stories are in the media. And of course, people who saw the live stories are alive. And so on and so forth. The government has not said it didn't happen. It happened. So the question is, what makes us feel that it won't happen again? Well, good enough, the service chiefs and all the security stakeholders have been on their toes. But this brings me to another question before we will now look at its relationship, with real estate investment, which is where we come in as professionals. If I tell you that there is a snake in your house, two things will happen. Either you look for the snake to kill or you pack out of the house. Until someone else will come and look for the snake. Of course, you pay.
An expert.
An expert. But another school of thought would say, why don't you ask this person what he saw, how he knew that there's a snake that has crept into your apartment. Perhaps that interview would make you know whether he's poking on you or whether he's trying to jolt you for no known reason or trying to do something, or whether he's for real. But if before that time, this same person had told you that there is rat in your house, and you saw the rat, and you killed it, and he tells you another day that there is snake in your house, you are most likely to believe that person. Of course, you trust that he watched your back, and so on and so forth. Yes, we are sovereign state, but all of us know that you cannot compare Nigeria with any of the first, second world countries, and so on and so forth. So when a bigger brother, as it were, is watching or keeping an eye on you, it's neither here nor there. It depends on your relationship with him. Because if your enemy tells you that there is a snake in your house, you would rather dispel that thought, because he's your enemy, than a friend, and so on. Assuming that this is true, assuming that what U.S. government has told Nigerians is true, this will bring us to another critical point. Real estate investors will be on their feet. Financiers will be on their feet. Insurance companies will be on their feet. The reason is clear. If government is to have, we pray it doesn't happen, and government is to have an attack, maybe on its facilities, the post-attack, the tension and the post-attack is almost worse than the attack itself, because it's going to have a domino or ripple effect. Most often than not, the area is cordoned off as no-go area. And then you begin to see high-profile security personnel, etc. And this might take a very long time. So if I have proposed to put in an investment in real estate in an area that has been attacked or that is proposed to be attacked, the natural thing to do is to keep my money. And if I was a financial institution that was to lend you money to build or to carry on your investment, the shrewd thing I would do is to hold on to my money. Because I don't want to start up something and then when the cumulative effect comes, we'll all be picking lawyers who would begin to tell us where I didn't get it right and all that. And the next thing you say, all of us are in court. And you know how it is, like how it feels when you go to court in the country, So it's going to put a little, it's going to suffocate potential investors. It's going to stop them, at least for now, from investing. The reason is that they want to see when the coast will be clear, and they want to be sure that the coast is clear. Nobody wants to put his money, where he is not sure of. And like we said before, in pre-investment studies or in real estate pre-investment studies and analysis, you must consider the socio-economic scenario, the socio-economic, stake at the time. So now that this information has been passed, we're looking out for, or we are foreseeing a situation where proposed investors would want to put a halt, on their proposed investment, and all the stakeholders, including, like I said, the financiers, the banks, the insurance companies, and all that, would definitely want to stop. And that will not go down well with those who will be beneficiaries of such investments. Thank you.
Thank you. The program is Real Estate today, and here we are on Bridge Radio.